Quer desenvolver os talentos da sua equipe e potencializar os resultados da sua empresa? Conte com a expertise do atendimento corporativo do Senac São Paulo, que já capacitou mais de 1 milhão de pessoas e profissionais de instituições públicas, privadas e terceiro setor. Construa uma equipe altamente motivada e capacitada e destaque-se no mercado. Entre em contato, acesse sp.senac.br/corporativo e saiba mais. Quer saber? Senac.
Welcome to Her Extraordinary Life by Design, where we celebrate women who are shaping their lives one extraordinary day at a time. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, self-care coach for women who are ready to make self-care a priority to support them in life and business. Every week, I'll be speaking with inspiring women from various walks of life who will share their personal journeys and will discover how they have fearlessly carved their own paths as business owners, passionately pursuing their dreams and creating a meaningful impact on their communities. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Extraordinary Life by Design podcast. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, and today we're talking with Tayler Worth. Tayler is a 26-year-old full-time entrepreneur based in Charlotte, North Carolina. She offers a range of intimate skincare services, including full body and facial hair removal, as well as intimate brightening in her business, Cloud9 Aesthetics. Licensed for 4 years, Tayler has specialized in waxing for nearly 3 years. Passionate about her work, she cherishes the relationships she's built with her clients and business colleagues, and she is dedicated to empowering women by helping them feel beautiful and confident through her services. Tayler, it is such a pleasure to welcome you to the show today.
Hi, thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be talking to you and talking about my journey.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have you here. But before we get started, it's tradition for me to start my podcast episodes by having my guests tell us just a little bit more about themselves. So please tell us more about Tayler, the woman, and then we'll talk more about what you do.
Okay, so I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am 26. I turned 27 in November at the end of the year. I have no kids. It's just me. I am just enjoying my career and where I am in my life. I love to travel, spend time with my family. I love cooking. I'm just a creative person. I love doing stuff with my hands, building stuff, putting things together. So being in this industry was like, it's hands-on. It's perfect for me. So I went to Hampton University for a couple years, and I just decided that the path that I thought I wanted to go down was not for me. So that's how I kind of made the switch into aesthetics.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that about you. So let's talk about what you do. Could you tell us a little bit about your business and share with us what inspired you to become an entrepreneur in the intimate skincare industry and what your journey has been like since you started?
Yes. So Cloud9 Aesthetics is a woman's safe space. That's the tagline. That's, the environment that I wanted to create when I started my business, because there are just a lot of businesses that you can go into and you don't feel that personal experience. You don't feel the safety, the privacy. So I wanted to make sure that that was the main focus in this business, because it's such an intimate and vulnerable service that I provide. So I started my business back in June of 2023. So not quite a year yet, but almost there. And like you said, I offer a range of services from facial hair removal to intimate skincare services like brightening services, skincare corrective services, brow services, brow waxing, things like that. I just wanted to create somewhere for women to come and feel like they can be themselves and be comfortable. And it's a safe space. We can talk about anything. I try to be very flexible and work with women because I know we're all humans and we go through things. So things happen. I try to be a business that we really work with our clients. And so that's the business that I've created.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's great when we as women can support each other. And especially too, in your generation, this is important that you are carrying on this new, I believe, movement in a sort of way that women are starting to really come out and support each other. And I love when I see younger women like yourself that is like carrying that torch and really it being inspiring because you inspire me, someone who's gone through life experience already ahead of you, to see that women like yourself are coming up behind me and have that mindset of really wanting to support other women, to support each other, to create that safe space where we can share, we can come in and get the things that, especially when you do those specialized services that you were saying the intimate skincare. I think that's really important because as women, we're already, one of the things I think too, is that we're already feeling a lot of the time vulnerable if we have specific things like that, where some of your clients might come in and have specific things that they need taken care of that might feel embarrassing to them. And yet they can come to your space and you're like, no, I want you to feel at home. I want you to feel part of the
Right.
family. Let me take care of you. And the reason why I can say that I can say that with conviction is just because you and I, we've talked a little bit before this conversation. And so I feel like that's the mindset you have. And I really like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have listened to hundreds of women over the past 3 years tell me about their previous experiences with other businesses or private practices, chain salons, whatever it was, and how they dreaded going back, but they knew they wanted the service done, or they wanted to go back because it was affordable. However, the customer service was subpar, or, they felt judged. There were comments that were made that indicated that something was not correct with them or whatever the case was. So I just heard all of that and I'm like, you know what? We're doing the opposite. Like this is the complete opposite because it's already hard enough for people to go through this type of service because of the pain. So it's like, where is the comfort coming in? Like it has to be somewhere. So I focus my comfortability on the customer service and letting the clients know, like, I'm human just like you. Like, I have what you have. I go through what you go through. Like, I share the same struggles or concerns. So we're all the same. And I like to treat everybody the same. There is no, you can't come, or I don't know if I want to do you. I take everybody. Like,
Yeah.
there is no boundary.
Yeah, no, but I love that. I think what I really love about it is that you're making it a place where people don't have to come in and worry like, oh, is she going to treat me the way other people have treated me? Like right off the bat, you're saying, listen, come on in. I've got you. I've got your back. I'm going to take care of you. Do not worry about feeling shame or guilt or anything like that, because unfortunately, we still live in a society where even other women are making us feel bad for some of the things about ourselves. And it's hard enough to actually live in a society where people judge you by what you look like before they get to know you. So I can imagine that must be some of the challenges that your clients go through. So I wanted to just to segue into one of your services is waxing, and you've been doing that for almost 3 years. And you did say that you've just recently started your business. It's not yet a year old, but you're coming up on your anniversary quite quickly. And I think that's amazing. What drew you to this particular aspect of skincare? And what do you find most rewarding about providing this service to your clients?
Well, I kind of fell into this specific part of aesthetics. I originally thought that I wanted to do makeup and be a makeup artist. I have been doing my own makeup and playing in my mom's makeup since I was like a kid, maybe 6 or 7. And once I realized, like, okay, college is not what I want to do because they don't have what I want there. During COVID, I decided, well, I'll just go to aesthetic school and become a makeup artist. But with aesthetics, you can do so much. Like there's a range of services that you can provide. And I was like, well, let's just see what else they have to offer. So going into aesthetic school, I wasn't doing makeup because I was like, I just really couldn't get it how I wanted to. So I was like, well, let me try something else. I did lashes. When I graduated in December 2020 from aesthetic school, the week after, I started working at a salon for a small business owner here in Charlotte. And after about 6 months, I was just not really happy. I'm so hard on myself. So I was just not seeing the growth that I wanted and the results that I wanted. The money was okay, but I'm like, I could be making more, it could be better, and I could be really waking up and happy to go to work and doing something that I'm excited about doing instead of sitting in a salon for 8, 9, 10 hours a day and draining it. My body's hurting and I'm just like, I have to come back tomorrow. So I brought up the idea of waxing, and at the time that business owner was just not willing to allow me to do it. So I was like, well, that's something that I would like to do. So I ventured off and I found a salon that was hiring. And so I inquired and I didn't even interview, honestly. I walked in for my own wax appointment on a Thursday and I was like, are y'all hiring? And she was like, can you start on Tuesday? So I was like, yeah, of course, sure. So it just happened. I didn't expect it. I had sent them my resume a time or two before that. And when I followed up, they're like, oh, we lost it. Or, oh, call this person, or, oh, come back. It was just always a runaround situation. So that third time was really a charm. And I was like, okay, this is happening. So it just happened. It just fell into my lap. And it feels so rewarding being in this specific part of aesthetics because, like I said, it's such an intimate and vulnerable service. So to be trusted with something like this by so many women and then leave them with an exceptional service and to have 5-star ratings from them and recommendations and referrals, it just feels very rewarding because I know that I'm helping women and I'm introducing to them something new, whether they've been waxed in the past or not. I hear a lot of times like, oh, you're the fastest waxer I've ever had. Oh, you're the quickest, or you're the most pain-free or painless. Whether regardless of what it is that I've introduced to them, it's always something new that I always hear from new clients. Like, oh my God, I've never had this before. Or, oh, my last person didn't do this. Or you're very thorough, you tweezed, or, just little things. So I feel like the reward is hearing the feedback from my clients, whether they're returning or new clients, and just meeting so many great women. I have met so many women and made so many connections doing conventions and competitions and just traveling, meeting women and, hey, here's my card. This is what I do. I used to be very shy and I still kind of am, but I've kind of started walking up, hey, when my hair is done and I look the part, I have my uniform on, my logo. I'm like, here's my card. This is what I do. Come see me. So I just love being able to meet women, make women smile, and give them a new experience to something that is beneficial because people like to think of these types of services as luxury services, but these are beneficial monthly maintenance services that women should be investing in if they can. So I love to make that difference in their lives.
Yeah. And I think too, with going to someone like yourself, women are going in because they want to feel good about themselves, and you give them that opportunity to walk away feeling good about themselves, and I think that's part of it too. So I think that's important. And I think that's what you're doing because you're building those relationships with your clients. They want to come back. I was reading some of your reviews and they're saying that the service was impeccable and they can't wait to come back. And so building strong relationships and moving on to that, it seems to be a really significant part of your business. So can you tell us about how you cultivate these relationships and the impact they have on your work?
Yeah, like I said, I meet a lot of women going to aesthetics conferences and conventions, trade shows. I just recently went to an aesthetics international competition that I participated in. So, just supporting women locally, showing that it's not a real life competition. We're all in this for the same thing. That's to make connections, service our clients, give them exceptional service, and just be strong and great business owners and professionals. And so just reaching out to people like, hey, I'm such and such, and this is what I do, doing a lot of collaborations. I've done one recently for Mother's Day where I've collabed with a photographer and a makeup artist right here in Charlotte to offer a Mother's Day raffle. So just building those connections, keeping in touch with them, and just meeting new people as I go along the way. It's never really intentional. It just happens. I try to be friendly and approachable and just approach women and, just this is what I do. Like I said, giving out a card and letting them know who I am, doing a lot of social media marketing as well.
Yeah. So going a little bit deeper, because I think, like I was saying, for me, as an example, when I go to someone new, I don't know them, if I can build that rapport with them, they become that person, that trusted person that you go to, that you might start to share about your life and your life journey. So with that being said, when you're working with women and they're, especially in these more painful, as you were saying, services that, and some of the services too, that might be for specific things, like you were saying, skin brightening, however that, whatever that looks like. Can you share a story or an example of how you've seen how your services have positively affected a client's self-esteem or confidence?
Yeah, of course, not to give any names, but I've had
Mhm.
a client come for the first time to see me at Cloud9. And her previous experience with waxing was probably a year before she came in. And she was very terrified. Like you could tell she didn't want to get undressed. She didn't want to get on the table. She didn't want to really talk to me at all. Like she was just like, I'm here because I booked it and I paid a deposit, but I don't want to be here because her previous experience was not comfortable. She was just treated like, just like a paycheck. And she didn't feel a good client experience came from that. So coming into me, she was just very reserved because of that past experience, and which I could understand. So as I prepped her for the service, I kind of talked her through it, what would happen, how long it would take, what she should expect after, during, and as I prepped the skin, all of that. So we started the treatment and she was just very tense, very scared, very like just shy and didn't want to relax. And so I was able to get her through it and talk her through it and like, it's going to be okay. We just have like 10 minutes left. If you just take deep breaths, I do breath work sometimes with some of my clients and just getting them to focus on relaxing and not thinking about the service and, getting to know them. So as I talk to her through the service, I'm asking her questions about herself and it's not kind of like a trick, but to get them to not think about what's going on because you can't really focus on two things at once. So if I have you focusing on your current relationship or school or what you have planned for the weekend, you can't really too focus on when I'm about to pull it. So kind of did that with her, and I would say 12 to 15 minutes later, I'm like, all right, girl, we're done. And she's like, that was it? Like, you did all of it? I'm like, yeah, it's done. It's completed. And you can go ahead and get dressed. And she was just in such shock, like, oh my God, I didn't even realize like you were doing it. Like I knew I felt you doing it, but I didn't realize like it would be that quick and easy. I didn't think that it would be so fast and it would be so comfortable for the service that it is. And so she got dressed and she was just very excited, very happy to come back and just happy to have found somebody that she knew she could trust, that, oh, okay, I can forget about what's going on and focus on whatever I want to tell her or talk about today. Or if I need to vent, I can focus on that and not have to worry about like, is everything okay down there? Like, am I, because her previous experience, she had a situation where her skin was ripped apart. So that was another concern for her. Like, is everything okay down there? And because the previous experience, they didn't tell her what happened. So she realized when she got home and they didn't tell her how to treat it, how to take care of her skin. So she was really concerned about that. Like, what do I need to do to make sure that that doesn't happen again? And I'm like, just trust me. Just tell me about your day. Tell me about whatever you have going on. And I got this down here. You just talk and I'll work. And so once she got off the table and got dressed, she was like checking everything out. And I'm like, make sure it's okay. Make sure you feel fine. And she was like, no, this is great. Like, I didn't think it could be this easy. Like, I didn't think I could get this type of experience because I was used to discomfort and just ripping in and out and just, not really a personal experience. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that was one of my few clients or many clients that have come to me after having a really tragic service done and kind of being able to get them to come back. And I can't wait to come back and telling their friends and wanting to leave reviews and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really, really, truly believe that it's important that you walk them through it, right? It's just like
Yeah.
anything, it's like any service. When you walk someone through what to expect, and also that you're making them feel like they're part of it, but you're also making them feel like you have your voice. Do not believe that I'm taking your voice away from you. And I think that's what you have done you've incorporated saying your voice matters. And I want you to know that. So if something's bothering you, tell me. I want, and being able to like take her through an experience that was previously for her very traumatic, and you were able to turn it around for her so that now she can feel confident coming back to have the service repeated again and not be afraid, because she can trust you that you're going to always be there to walk her through it, to help her through it, and help her have an experience that doesn't traumatize her. I think that is like 100% amazing. So I just want you to know that. I think that's incredible.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So beyond the services that you provide, what aspects of your work are you most passionate about, and who or what has been your biggest inspiration in your life or your career?
I'll start with the second question. So I think my mom has been the most inspirational in my journey because she is also a business owner, and she's the reason why I was so eager to be an entrepreneur at a young age, because I used to say like I didn't want to work for anybody when I got older, but I just didn't know what it looked like. So I see her do it and I'm like, I can do that. Like, I look like her, she looks like me, and she's making it work. She's making it happen. So I can do that too. And she's just been keeping me encouraged. She's been very supportive throughout my entire journey from the very beginning. And she's always there when I need her with any help. She always has the answers. I'm like, how do you always know? It's never, let me go check and look at this and Google it or anything. She always just knows. So she is definitely my inspiration on my entrepreneurial journey. And the first question, what was the first question?
It was really just about like, what aspects of your work are you most passionate about? Like, if you could pick just one part of what you do, what would be the most passionate that you would choose if that was all that you could do that makes you feel the most passionate?
Well, I would say it would be the waxing portion for me because it's funny because when I first started waxing, I had told somebody like maybe a month in, like, I'm having dreams of me doing the services. Like, I can't see anybody specific. I just can see in my dream me doing it with my hand. And I'm like, I really love waxing. Like, I love the technique. I love the service. I just love it. And a lot of people always ask me, well, how do you do that all day? How do you look at women all day? And it's not me looking at women, it's me performing the service that I enjoy the most. So I would definitely say it's doing the wax because I
Mhm.
just when I get off of work, I'm like, okay, so tomorrow I have this amount of clients and okay, cool. So I get to like, I don't know, I just get excited about having clients and being able to do the service, provide the service because I know the results that I give with the service. So it also comes with, the client's feedback and the reviews from it. And so I think it will be the service, providing the service because having a client get off the table and be like, "Oh, that was easy," or "Oh my God, that was so quick," or "Oh, I'm so happy, I'm free." Like I feel like a brand new woman. I just love that feeling. That just makes me so happy.
I would say you're like an empowerment coach, coaching your clients through a process, especially if they're scared since they've
Yeah.
had maybe a traumatic experience, or maybe they've never experienced it before, and you're taking them through the experience for the first time. So before I get to my last question, I know that you kind of alluded to it, but I did hear through the grapevine that you have something to celebrate. So could you share a little bit more about that? You did, as I said, allude to it earlier about the competition.
Yes. So I traveled to Atlanta, Georgia about 2 or 3 weeks now. And my mom went with me because she is my biggest fan and she goes wherever I go and she supports anything I do. So we traveled down there together for the weekend, Thursday through Sunday. where they had the International Aesthetics and Skincare Competition. So it's where people all over the world come together, hundreds of people participate. And it's really like a year-long thing that they, get you ready for all year up until the weekend of. So there are so many categories and competitions that you can participate in. There are compassionate categories. There are skincare categories, acne, facials, hyperpigmentation. They have sugaring services. They have waxing services, brow wax, leg wax, Brazilian wax, waxer of the year. And so a lot of these categories get awarded for the first, second, and third place winners. And then the waxer of the year, the sugarist of the year, the makeup artist of the year, they would get the highest award, and they would get a financial or a monetary award as well. So I participated competing for Waxer of the Year, which meant I had to compete in Brazilian waxing, leg waxing, and brow waxing. And then I was also a part of the top 10 finalists for the People's Choice Award. So on Friday, we had to do the competition. So I had to take models with me. I had to perform the brow service, the leg wax service, and the Brazilian service in front of the judges. And there were a lot of people in my competition. So I was on edge all weekend. It was very stressful, very high anxiety. I was just all over the place. But Sunday we had the award show, which was phenomenal. It was a Hollywood classic theme set up, and it was just beautiful. So I did get awarded for top 3 in the People's Choice Award out of hundreds of players, which I was very surprised about, but not really, because like I said, I do have a lot of clients who support me, but it was just like, wow, y'all really love me like that. And then I got awarded top 2 Brazilian Wax Artist of the Year. So that was
Wow.
awesome.
Oh, amazing. Congratulations. That's incredible, especially too that you've only been in business for yourself just almost a year, coming up on a year. And I think that is just amazing. Now, this episode will air just after your first year in business, but we're talking about it as it's just coming up. And I just think it's incredible that you have created this lifestyle for yourself that, you know, you said before, I knew I didn't really want to work for anybody, but how could I go out on my own? And you have an incredible mom, which she is amazing. And to be able to show you, yes, it's not easy, but it's doable. And having someone like that in your corner is phenomenal. So thank you so much for sharing that. So let's look ahead. How do you hope your journey and achievements as a young entrepreneur in the industry, the intimate skin care industry, will inspire not only your peers, but also future generations who may follow in your footsteps?
I hope my journey, my business, I hope it changes or creates a lot of professionals kind of with my mindset of having welcoming and open arms in your business and, just the correct customer service that should be given out to everybody. Every client should be treated the same. So I just hope that this shows women like you can have a successful business and you can grow a successful clientele base, but you have to do it the right way. You have to, make sure that you're giving it 100% because it's possible. I have a lot of women that reach out to me, young women that are like, can you mentor me? Like, I had someone actually way older than me that wanted me to mentor her. And I'm like, me? It's just, I just started and this like little old me, are you sure? But it's a great feeling because I know that I am doing something right. And I just pray that it continues to go down this path and that I can just expand my business and just continue to grow my business and stay on this track, of inviting and meeting new women and introducing them into this part of aesthetics, because a lot of people still don't know what waxing is or the benefits or have any idea about waxing and why they should or who's a good candidate. It's a lot of unknown when it comes to waxing because people just automatically like, down there, no, I don't want anybody, so it's kind of like a taboo thing in aesthetics. People know about lashes and nails and hair, but waxing is like, oh no, I just take care of myself and I go on. But they don't realize the downside to doing it their way versus getting waxed. So I just want to continue to educate women, whether they're getting waxed or they're trying to be the waxer, just continue to help professionals grow the right way.
Yeah, I love that. Tayler, thank you sincerely for joining me today and sharing your experiences and passion in the intimate skincare field. Your dedication to empowering women through your services is truly commendable. And it's been a pleasure learning about your journey and the positive impact that you're making. I'll make sure to include your contact information in the show notes for anyone who wants to explore your services further in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. If they happen to be driving through, or you never know, someone maybe local that doesn't know about you yet, or maybe they just want to connect with you. And as you said, maybe get mentored or learn about what to look for in someone who is going to be their intimate skincare professional. Your insights today, I'm sure, will encourage our listeners, especially young entrepreneurs, to pursue their passions with confidence and commitment. So thank you so much for taking time to be with me today and for contributing such valuable perspectives especially for this Young Visionary series.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And it was amazing talking to you. You had some great questions. Thank you so much for inviting me on. It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. And to our listeners, remember that your path is yours to shape. Let Tayler's journey remind you that with dedication and a clear vision, you can make significant strides in your chosen field. Believe in your potential and the unique contributions you can make to the world. Wishing you all continued success and growth on your journeys. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep designing your extraordinary life one day at a time. Thank you for joining me on Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I hope you've been inspired and empowered by the incredible stories shared on this show. If you enjoyed this episode and the conversations we've had, I would greatly appreciate if you could take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback and support mean the world to me, and it will help others discover the podcast and join our empowering community. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Together, we can continue to learn from these amazing women, uncover their extraordinary journeys, and be motivated to create our own lives by design. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, stay empowered and keep shaping your extraordinary life one day at a time.
Hi, it's me, Flo. Remember me from Ghost Hampton, the podcast? I was secretly in love with Lyle Hall. Well, now I'm dead and loving it. But let's talk about you. If you loved listening to Ghost Hampton, you can now spend the summer in the Hamptons. The original episodes are back, and now new episodes will be dropping every Friday. I may drop in too, just to make Lyle feel guilty. Ghost Hampton, the podcast, is now streaming everywhere.
Ever thought about starting your own podcast?
Do you have a business or a message you want to share with the world?
Well, now it's easier than ever with Electrocast. Hi, I'm Mark Netter.
And I'm Peter Rafelson. We're the founders of Electrocast Media.
Whether you want to start a new podcast or already have one, join Electrocast to grow your audience, monetize your content, and build your community.
With our simple sign-up, you get free promotion, world-class analytics, premium ads, and personal support.
Go to electrocast.com and join our community today.
Electrocast. Transform your influence.
Electrocast. Electrocast.